Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here with a CGC send-off video. Two piles you're looking at, 50 cards each. The left pile I'm submitting to CGC through a middleman. I use Polaris Grading, as I mentioned before when we had Peter on the podcast. And on the right side, these are the ones that I submitted directly. So I'm going to show you the cards, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm using a middleman for any of them, why I didn't just submit all of them myself. I've touched on it a little bit before, but I do not like entering cards onto any of the websites. It had been over a year since I did a direct CGC submission, and I will say that the process was a lot better than last time around. They've greatly improved their submission process, but even a smooth, nice, easy to use one, I'm just still not a big fan. It only took me 30 minutes. I think I mentioned it Monday in the video. You'll see this Friday, but yeah, it only took me like half an hour to do the 50 cards, but long-term future, I want to get back to where I'm sending out hundreds of cards a month. So if you're talking about freeing up potentially one day a month, I mean, that's one business day out of 20 business days in a month. That's a pretty substantial amount of my time. I've mentioned before I'm a one-man operation, and you'll see a difference. I'm going to start with the one I sent to the middleman. More variety, more things that I don't even, like, I guess in certain instances, oddball promos might be easier to pick out because when you type in Ping Club, but whether or not this has even been graded with CGC yet, that's where you can run into the difficulties. So I send the difficult things to the middleman, and I do the easier things myself, basically is what it boils down to. You saw these cards on Wednesday in my video with my return from Heritage. These were part of the beta box break in Orlando. And order doesn't even matter here, so I can just keep these up. I can mix these all up. I try to be nice to the middlemen, and I try to keep them in some kind of a reasonable order, but for the sake of this video, I guess I can flip them over so that I keep them in the same order. But yeah, so two beta magic cards from my box break. This Pikachu is from the WB Creator Pack, one of 5,000, I believe they made for that. The reason this one's going to CGC, I think I showed this in a purchase video before. Really bad roller line straight down the middle of the card. So I don't know exactly what happened there. I'm interested to see how CGC grades it. So we'll find out. Other than that, most of these, if I remember correctly, are just pretty much mint cards. But Marnie from the Marnie Milk Box. We've got some Dimac MetaZoo cards. You see the Dimac logo there. They've got promos of all kinds. So a couple Mothmans, a couple Piazza Birds. Sorry when I hit you with the glare from the light. Trying my best not to do that, but a couple of Wendigos. Now we're looking at the Pin Club promos. So these ones come in the pin blind boxes, pin booster boxes, whatever you want to call them. Headless Horseman. Basically same strategy as Pokemon. I grade the popular stuff. Headless Horseman, Wendigo, Mothman, Piazza Bird, Babe the Blue Ox. We got your Rudy. I graded a couple of my Rudy promos. Yeah, there's Rudy, really big feet. And then we've got the Hunchback of Jacksonville from the Alpha Investments MetaZoo kits. We've got another Dimac, Sam Sinclair. We've got a few Mothmen from the, I had one of these in my submission Monday as well to PWCC. The Metapoo, the Magicast boxes. And then we've got their April Fool's little joke, I guess, playing off of what some people lovingly call them, not being big fans. 4 Ancient Muse, just standard liquid inventory. We got one each of the easy on the ball promos. I don't personally have any Pikachus. At some point I need to get some. We've got a Staff Donphin from Vivid Voltage. These 5 Victory Cups are actually, I don't know if they were actually played. I don't know if this card's playable or not. Doesn't look like it is because it's a flip a coin thing. So there's only a 50% chance you're going to be able to search your hand. So I doubt these are playable, but I have 4 first place and 1 second place. Just the quality on a couple of these were actually graded. Not all of them, but I guess part of this submission too, when I do the return, it's going to be not only a return video, but it's going to be a anecdotal, is CGC grading easier? I guess both in the direct submission and the middleman submission, there's some amount of random cards inserted that I cracked out just to see if I could do better on the regrade. These ones, I honestly forget the story. If anyone knows the story of these, some kind of a sample e-reader type thing, you can see they've got hole punches in them. I do know that CGC grades them. I hope they don't have to go on their own submission for like an error variant type thing, but the middleman will let me know. That's the thing. I chuck the difficult stuff to the middlemen, and then I just let them sort it out. So they might email me back and say, hey, those 6 have to go. They're going to be a little more expensive. They have to go on their own thing. If they do, whatever, I'll wait and see. But if you know the details behind these, let me know. I bought these years ago. There was a seller on eBay selling sets of the 3 of these with the hole punch, and yeah, I picked them up at the time. I don't really know too much more about them though. And then CGC, big news as well recently, they're grading Topps cards. So I chucked out, I had a first appearance, Lediba in a binder, and then I had some of these die cut. I'm really interested to see how they encapsulate these. Some kind of an inner sleeve, I'd have to imagine. And then just a Lugia Rises from Pokemon Movie Topps 2000s. So yeah, you'll note here a lot more variety, a couple more like niche type things so that the middlemen can deal with those headaches of submission. This was the direct, and you'll note that there's a divider in here. So to get the bulk rate for direct submission to CGC, you need to send 50 cards. The way that they did it, because Topps Chrome cards are thicker, same size, well, except for the squared corners. I believe they're roughly the same size, though, just with squared corners. They are quite a bit thicker, though, so I think they get a different slab. It was the same fee, though, and I was worried. Once I saw that my submission form was splitting it, I was worried I'd have to do 50 of these and then 50 of these. But thankfully, I think it's 19 of these and 31 of these, and they allowed me to get that $15 rate. I'm actually a member, whatever tier member I am, so I pay $13.50. And the middlemen, it will be the same fee or less. I forget what my exact like dealer rate is through Polaris, but it won't be higher than the $13.50. If anything, it'll be slightly lower. So yeah, we got one thing I was happy to find. I couldn't remember how many I had. This is a single row, 800 count box. A lot of the good ones are gone. Like I graded all the Charizards long ago. I graded, I guess, all but one Blastoise and Venusaur. But I have like several of each of the Series 1 Topps Chrome. I think I've mentioned it before in various videos. I bought a bunch of those boxes, like a couple dozen boxes maybe, when they were $100 a piece or less, and I just opened a ton of them. Unfortunately, I opened all of them. So yeah, I've got like Pack Fresh Mint. None of the parallels. So unfortunately, that whole thing is like base Chrome. But I do have multiple of each, aside from Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise. And then probably Pikachu, Raichu. Just raw mint, pack fresh. So at some point I'll grade those. I was planning for PSA once they went to $10 per card, but now that CGC's open, they're obviously a play. They're an option. I want to see how they handle them. I've had pretty good returns from PSA grading these. So I didn't want to get too crazy, send out 500 Chromes all at once, and then like get hit with 8.5s or get hit with something that I'm not expecting. So I'm starting with 19 and we'll go from there. As far as the other cards for direct, I love the Amazing Rares. I know they cost nothing. They're worth nothing. Like if I hit these in CGC 9s, I think they go for like sub $20. I hope I pre-graded them well enough that I get 9.5s, maybe some 10s, maybe some perfects if I'm really lucky. But I love the set. It's so beautiful. It's just fairly hard to grade too many of them right now because so many people have, and the prices are pretty low unless you're getting a 10 pretty much. A few more of the Bumblebee promos. A couple of you'll see a lot of similarities in this second half to what I sent Monday, I guess. To PWCC. So those ones are being directly auctioned on the open market on PWCC's weekly auction. These ones are going to come back to me, and these ones are going to be like eBay, my eBay inventory. So yeah, more Ancient Muse, more Yu Nagaba, and that's it. So yeah, you'll see like when you're entering cards, if you enter one card, it takes the same amount of time to enter like each unique card. Like if I was entering one Ancient Mew and one U Nagaba, it would take X amount of time. And to turn that into like if I had 100 of these, clearly sending 100 of the same card takes significantly less time than 100 unique cards. So when I send to Middleman, I tend to send less duplicates. And when I send directly, if and when I send directly, it's more going to be like 20 of this, 30 of that, 50 of that. This one's a small submission because I'm still in that point where it's like anecdotal. I want to make sure I get concrete evidence that they're actually grading easier. And then if they are, and if they're selling well, I'll start to send more significantly to CGC. So yeah, that's my video for today. Let me know in the comments below. Again, that whole speculation, I'll have a video coming in the next month or so on more data from whether or not CGC is grading easier, how the 10 rates are, how the perfect rates are. And yeah, that's it though. Let me know in the comments any questions, concerns, any future content you'd like to see. I appreciate everyone watching. Like, subscribe, affiliate links, Patreon, all that good stuff. People who hang out till the very end pretty much know all that, and you're the ones more likely. I need to say it at the beginning every so often, but yeah, I appreciate you guys bearing with me, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. I will catch you all later.